The third kit is an emergency kit that you would keep in your home in case of a serious situation, landslide, volcanic eruption, flooding, forest fire. I've never seen a forest fire in the tropics, but where I'm from in California, we got forest fires. So in those kits, I keep a poncho, a space blanket, a machete, at least a gallon of water, an emergency weather radio, a flashlight, a couple of extra lighters, and maps of the local area, a cell phone, things that are light, easy to transport, and will allow you to carry it quickly in a hopefully a waterproof situation, and that would support you and your mate, or have possibly an extra bag for a second person or the rest of your family. Food is of great importance, but here in the jungle there's so much. There's wild bananas, there's coconuts, there's all kinds of tubers and things that grow around here, so I would suggest, as well as carrying a translation book for the local language we have between English and Spanish, and possibly a book that explains the kind of flora and fauna we have in the area. Now, I've carried small sleeping bags, I've carried extra dry material to start fires with, because in conditions like we have recently, you're not going to find much dry tinder out in the forest, so you definitely want to stay dry until you can get a fire started. There's very little emphasis put on what is dangerous around here besides the snakes and some of the insects. But we do have domestic animals that are not very cooperative. They will attack you if you walk through their field, in the way of, I'm talking Brahmins and some of the livestock we have here. So be prepared to scope out the area that you're going to wander through to try to find a way out of where you are, or find a way into a safer place than where you've been caught in a slide. There's additional things you can have staked out. If you live in a questionable area and you've got neighbors not very close, you might want to store water and have a cache of food or burning materials or other survival implements, such as poles pre-cut, where you could leave your residence and go out and make yourself shelter. These jungles are a wealth of natural resources for survival. Banana leaves, you can put 6 banana leaves together and never get wet in a rainstorm. You can use coconut palm fronds from the coconut palms. There's berries, there's wild fruit, there's all kinds of things, but you have to know where to find them and what's good and what's not. So I think it's a real good idea to have a book. They have very good survival books, and I've seen them here, and you can get them from the map store, that are not really waterproof, but they'll shed the water and they won't deteriorate in one rain. So the older we get, the more difficult it is to walk long distances and to, say, cut down trees and make bridges, or whatever you may have to do to get yourself and your family out of the area you're in. The other thing I would suggest is, if these are points of interest to you, go on the internet, get survival information pertinent to the geographic area that you're in, or the geographic area that you're traveling through. I have seen situations where people were traveling as a couple. They got caught in a situation where a road washed out, and the only way out was to walk 6 miles. So, and that was to a hotel, of course. So, think ahead, be prepared, do your homework, figure out ways to get yourself safe, dry, and hydrated to the next situation.